In this video, I'm going to show you how easy it is to download, install, and start using the Neo4j Desktop. You go to the Neo4j website, and at the top you click the download button, which brings you to the download page. You want to install the desktop, so you click the big button here for downloading the desktop. At this point, you must provide Neo4j with some identifying information before you can begin the download. So we do that, we click Download Desktop. Now it detects what kind of system you're on, and it presents you with a page with the installation and getting started with the desktop guide, which we will be going through in this video. Once the download completes, you simply click the installer, and the installer asks you to move it to your applications folder on the Mac. And once that's done, you simply go to the applications folder and you open the desktop. There are some preliminary questions you must answer when you first open the desktop: the license agreement, and if you have an activation key. We're just going to be doing the evaluation version right now. And anonymous reporting is a good thing, so click that, and here we are in the desktop. The Neo4j Desktop is where you manage your projects, your databases, and the settings you use at runtime. The settings view allows you to change some switches about your particular environment, including proxy settings. The user profile is where you would enter your activation keys, and this is simply the version of the software. So the projects view enables you to define a project for accessing a particular graph or database. So you have a graph, which is your database, and optionally you can install plugins that will work in your application environment for this database. We're going to change the name of the project, give it a name called Test Movies, and then we're going to want to create our first graph. In the beginning, you'll be creating a local graph. You must provide a password that you remember, because you might use it when you're accessing the database from your application. And the graph is created, and from this window you can either manage or start the database. If we click the Manage button, it gives you information about the database. It's currently not running. The settings page allows you to view and modify the configuration information for your particular project. We click the Start button to start the database. And here we see that the database is now active in the Test Movies project. You can stop the database by simply clicking the Stop button. And here we're going to see that we no longer have an active database. We don't like the name graph, so we're going to customize the name of our database in this desktop to be Movies. And now we're going to want to start the database again. So we start the database, and once it's started, here in the Manage area, we see that our database is running for this project. The bold port is a very important port. That's the port that's used for binary communication to access the database from applications and from the Neo4j browser. The HTTP port is used for accessing the web interface to the Neo4j browser. Here we see in the logs that our database is started, so this is where you would look for any information about problems with accessing the database. Now in the project view, we see that we have one project, but we want to add a new project. We're going to call this project Test Customers. When we create the project, we will have our own graph that is used for this project. We enter the password. At this point, we want to change the name of the database from Graph to Customers. So now we have two projects, each with their own graph, and we see that the Movies database is currently running. In the desktop, you can only have one database active at a time. So we are going to stop the Movies database, and then we can start the Test Customers project's database, which is called Customers. Now we see that we have our Customers database that is started and can be used from the Test Customers applications. So that's all you need to do to get started with the Neo4j Desktop.